Hello, friends. How are you? Happy New Year. How did you celebrate? I hope everything is good, and I just want to wish amazing New Year to every one of you. I want to wish profitable year. I want to wish successful year and satisfying year. In this video, I want to go over the last year we had and to just to mark a few highlights from our last year and to make some expectations for the upcoming year. So let's start with the euro dollar. The highlights for this pair, as I remember them, were here. Since beginning of June, we had this up move, right? Then we had this down big move, down correction, right? Then we have this up move. Then the last clear down move we expected were from here. 140 to 30 was the target of mine from which prices um, from which level prices should go down, and I was almost right on the pips. It went up more 40 pips, but since then, look what happened to the euro dollar, right? So it was a good year, and if you pay attention, all happened because of divergences I'm talking about, right? Here we got this bullish move. Here all this down move we got after bearish divergence, and of course here after bullish divergence, and the down move after bearish divergence, right? I will talk about expectations for the upcoming year, but that's just the highlight. For the dollar franc, the highlight was from January, for this of you who remember and were with me from for a long time now. This was our highlight, if you remember this. You can watch my video from the beginning of the 2010, and you can watch me talking about this trade. Right? It was an amazing trade. Took a few months because it was a monthly chart, but look at this up move all the way, much more than 1,500 pips. Right? It was a great move. The next pair we had a great move at was a Canadian franc. Just find this pair. Canadian franc. We were talking about these levels, as you might remember. After this up move and the meeting of the resistance here, we were talking about down move because of the divergence. And look what happened since then. You see the big drop? It was very, very, very powerful. Right? We had a fantastic down move on the gold because of the daily divergence. It was here, right? It was here because of this triangle. We got this down move. It was fantastic. I will talk about expectations as I said, but that's just highlights for now. We had also not so good trades such as Australian, New Zealandian, because of this uh, this double top that was not created, and the bearish divergence that was not created on the double top. It just kept going up, but as you can see, divergence still pushing the prices down, right? But it was a bad trade from here to here. We got this bad trade. We had another fantastic trade on the Euro British Pound as well on the weekly chart. From this double bottom combined with the bullish divergence, we had this up move, right? So this was these were the highlights of us, um, and I can say that if we have the same year, the same result in the upcoming year, then our situation will be fabulous. And now I just want to go over the long-term charts, all right? The long-term charts, and share with you my opinions about some of the pairs. Let's start with where this pair. Let's start with the euro dollar, all right? If we take a look on the monthly chart, right? What can we see from the monthly chart? We can see that the euro is trying to create a monthly triangle, right? It will take months between until this triangle will be broken. But it looks like, as for now, it is creating a triangle, right? It's a possibility that the euro will break up, and then we will see new heights. But don't forget all this bullish pressure, all this bearish pressure, the big engulfing from the last month, from November, right? The MACD that is still below the zero line, the RSI that is still below the 50, right? And we have a downtrend. The stochastic that is pointing seriously down, right? Don't forget all of this. So about the euro, the expectations are not clear, before we go for big long-term up move, we have to see this level being broken. Just let me shorter this line. All right, here. Okay, here we have this line, right? This triangle. Before, just if this triangle will be broken, then we can go for long-term up move. But as for now, for short term, I will talk in another video. All right, just for long term. Let's watch the New Zealandian dollar. Right, I just want to share with you some thought. Can you see this this pressure of the MACD? The slope is going down. We might see new highs being created on the New Zealandian dollar before the big crash. But be aware of this slope down, this weakness of the MACD histogram. It points that the volumes are getting lower and lower as we keep raising this pair, right? So again, as I said, we might see new highs because of the RSI pointing, because of the stochastic that didn't really cross down, right? Didn't really cross down, and because of the inverted hammer was deleted after 1 month, we might see another up move before the big crash. But first of all, the New Zealandian will have to break and to close above the 080 level, right? This level that is still a powerful resistance, right? What about the Australian dollar? The same situation. Can you see this divergence being created, right? It is still early. It is still early, but it's definitely pointing that something very, 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 very bearish is about to happen. If I go to weekly chart, you can see it even clearer here. Can you see? This high will be definitely higher than this high that will be created, right? And when it finished, we will have a serious drop down. As for now, we are still very, very, very bullish for the Australian. Right? This situation, to be honest, reminds me this situation. Right? When this was created, then we had this kind of triple top, and then bam, more than 100, more than 1300 pips. Right? Just want to remind you the targets of the investors: 104, the first target 107, the big target from the investors. Right? For the Australian dollar. But be aware of this divergence, because when it completed, we will have a serious long run down move. Right? This is about the Australian dollar. What about the British pound? Well, the British pound is one of the unclear pairs. And why? Because from the monthly chart we had dodgy. Dodgy means nothing, right? Dodgy means nothing. The RSI looks bearish, the stochastic looks bearish, and even the slope of the MACD is bearish. What does it mean? I am not sure. Maybe the British pound is just about to create a triangle as the euro dollar as well, right? As for now, it's very, very, very unclear, and I have nothing to add more than I already did. But few interesting things that might interest you. The Swiss yen, for example, right? Watch the Swiss yen. Can you see the MACD? Right? We are getting ready We are getting ready for the stop. We are very bullish, and from my point of view, we are going to see 90 level being reached again, right? 90 level being reached again during this year, but then I can definitely expect for some real serious down move, right? Just to little summarize for now. Little summarize for now. We are very bullish on the market still, but we have a lot of warning signs from the MACD, as you can see already, right? If I go to indices, the situation will be almost the same. Watch this. For example, watch watch the Dow, right? Can you see the MACD, friends? Can you see the MACD? We are going to have something very bearish very soon. Well, where you might wonder where. Well, we have this resistance, right? We have this resistance around these levels. Can you say, right? We have these volumeless candles. I will not be surprised if we have one powerful or two powerful candles that will be blocked around these levels, and from these levels, bam, a crash down that will bring a big correction for all this up move. All right, the same about S&P 500, for example. Can you see the MACD? You see it, right? It reminds me very much the previous big crash. It reminds me very much, right? We also have a resistance here. We might see rises until this level, but from here, probably we will have a big long run correction, right? Probably. So it's definitely a lot of good things about to happen, right? And just let's go over the gold, for example, right? Can you see this MACD? Right? Can you see it? It will definitely bring a big, powerful correction all the way back to this line, right? So as long as we keep riding, and I am still bullish for the beginning of the year, right? I am still very bullish even for the beginning of the year, and I might say I will not be surprised if 1450 will be reached, and maybe even 1500s will be reached. But then this divergence will definitely bring a serious down move all the way until this uptrend line, right? So friends, uh, I just want to say again, there are very much more good ideas for trading for big long run moves, such as dollar yen, as you can see, and the bullish divergence on the monthly and the weekly charts. Well, I think that the market will continue at the beginning, at least the beginning of the year. They will continue the trend that already halted in the market, but we are about to see big U-turns and big corrections on the market. So be ready, friends, because when all the charts point on the same direction, it's definitely gonna bring a big moves. And don't forget the 6th of May this year. This was the best highlight. Can you remember this year, friends? Dollar yen, British pound yen, all the indices, right? You called it, for this of you who follow me for more than a half year, you called it Ribakov's day. Do you remember? You called it Ribakov's day. So just to remind you, after this divergence has been created, we had dollar yen and we had British pound yen. Can you see it? Bam! All this crush, and the same about indices. All right. So I say that we are going to have something familiar in this year. I just want to wish you one amazing year, this one, and just want to thank you for your support, and just want to wish us good luck, profitable year, and thank you very much for 2010. Good luck at 2011. Vladimir. Hi friends, how are you? And welcome to my weekly review. Well, this is the first week of January 2011 year. Very exciting, and definitely a lot of things to wait for. Well, Friday finished with big surprises from my point of view, and we have powerfully up moves. Well, to be honest, very surprisingly from my point of view, I didn't expect them. I think never, no one expect them. Um, but as I said on one of my daily updates, the banks will push the prices up. Why? Because they want to, to equal their accounts with their foreign currencies, and well, it was a little expected, but definitely not this powerfully. The British pound reached 156 50 easily and very surprisingly. Well, but what should we expect for the upcoming week? Let's go over the charts and analyze the situation. Well, this is the British pound, right? This is the British pound. Okay, if you take a look, we have a clear uh, down channel, right? We have a clear down channel. What does it mean? It means that if the British pound will be stopped around this level, it will take 1-2 days more, I believe, right? We might see the next down move, but a few other things. Well, first of all, watch this support line, right? 153.70 hold the support line, and after all these attempts to break this line, they pushed back the British pound and flight all the way up, as I said, above 156.50. Very surprising, right? So we have this support line, and we have this divergence that pushed the prices up, but we might see a hidden divergence being created around this level, as I've mentioned, 156.50, around this down channel, right? It might be some little upper move this way. It might even go to 157, maybe 157.50, right? But somewhere around these levels, the British pound should stop. Would stop and create and complete this bearish hidden divergence. If a divergence will be created on the upper boundary, combined with a bearish candle pattern, we will look for selling the British pound. If this uptrend line or this down channel will be broken up, we will definitely look for more and more up moves. All right, we will look for more and more up moves. So that's all for the beginning of the week. As for now, nothing to do. We can't join an uptrend because there is no uptrend yet. There is this downtrend line uh, push the bearish power, right? But we can't rejoin the downtrend because we still didn't have the complete of the bearish hidden divergence. So at least for the beginning of the week, we are still neutral, and we'll have to wait and see how the first days of the new year will behave. Right? Very important to wait, but uh, something as a bonus. If you look for long downtrend line, then just wait until this support line will be broken. As long as it holds, we don't have any reason to look for a break, right? So this is about the British pound. What about the euro? The euro hold this resistance line, right? It also could create a bearish divergence. Can you see a bearish hidden divergence? We have a resistance. We have almost on the same planes highs, but we have higher highs being created probably at the beginning of the week, right? And the euro may create a hidden down move. If it is, and we have a bearish candle pattern, right? A bearish candle pattern, such as a engulfing or inverted hammer or something like this, we should look for another sell. If you watched my updates on my blog, then you must remember that I've talked that the euro might create a bearish triangle, where here it is. This is a bearish triangle, but before we could say and talk about long down move, this triangle should be broken down. Right, should be broken down. As a first step, we will look for a stop around this level, a complete of a hidden bearish divergence, and a complete of a bearish candle pattern. If it all happens, we will look to sell. But what about the long move? What about buying the euro dollar? First of all, we will have to wait and see, to look, for a break and the close of this resistance, all right, around 140, 134. Let me see, 134. Well, 134.40, 134.50, right? If we have a close above this line, right? A close above, it's a daily chart, so we have to wait for a daily candle, a daily close above. Then and only then we could talk for a long up move, right? The RSI is the only one who support the up move, because it's already broke 50 level. Can you see here, right? 50 level. It's all the only one who broke, but the resistance is still here. So if we want to have the up move, we should see them together being broken. Right. So this is about the euro. The first days, the same as the on the British pound, will be neutral. What about the dollar yen? Dollar yen is pointing down. Right. It's very dangerous to join it from my point of view, because on the weekly chart we might see double bottom with with bullish divergence, right? But I'm not sure about it. I'm really not sure about this pair yet, because all of the bullish divergences really push the prices. I think that after this sideways moves broke down here, all right? After this sideways moves was broken down, I think we are pointing really long term down. But 80 could be the first target for the down move. If 80 will be broken, then look and we could look and expect for a up move, maybe until even 78, maybe even until 75, right? So it's very dangerous now to join the dollar yen from my point of view, but I am still bearish for this pair until the weekly bullish divergence will be created. What about the Australian dollar? Still early, but I am bullish for this pair. 104 maybe the target, right? But we should not forget, and we must respect this bearish divergence being created. Maybe in the first week of January will create a bearish pattern, and if so, we will have a complete of bearish divergence and the beginning of down move. As long as the bearish divergence is not created, I am very bullish for the Australian dollar. What about the dollar franc? All right, here you can see the situation the same as all on the currencies. Can you see the bullish divergence being created? Well, during the few weeks, this divergence will be completed, and then we will have long-term up move. All right, no questions about it, no questions. But the only questions remained open is, where will this pair stop? Right? It reminds me of this situation. Can you see this down move? Right? When it was blocked at the beginning of 2010, right? We had this divergence, right? Look what happened. Can you see it? We had more than 1500 pips up move. Right? It will happen somewhere here, but the only question is when this down move will be complete. Right? It's still early. It will take few weeks, but it's definitely gonna happen. Right? This divergence will not lie. Right? What about the dollar Canadian? Well, this pair really confuses me, but it looks like we are bearish now. Well, this support line looks like being broken. The MACD now is pointing down again, right? The RSI pointing down, the stochastic pointing down. It looks like we are going down. And don't forget the 0.95 level, which is the target of investors, right? 0.95 is a target of investors. So we could see some retrace back to parity level and then drop down. Right? But I am bearish. But it's when to join the trend is not clear. I would, but if you want to go for a long run, then possibly you can join now and put a stop loss above the 101 level, even, right? Above the 20 moving average of Bollinger Bands. But if you want to shorter your stop loss, then probably it's better to wait until the retrace back and then look to enter down, right? So the dollar Canadian is bearish from my point of view. Another interesting thing that you might be interested in is gold, for example. Well, I want to share with you some interesting opinion. Well, I am bullish yet for the gold, but I just want you to be aware of a possibility. We will see some wedge here, right? We'll see some wedge here. Okay, the gold maybe will go up more and more, but there is a bearish divergence pushing down. There is a wedge. Let's see. I am still bullish, right? I am still bullish as long as that it's not stopped, right? It's not as long as the gold is not stopped and created a bearish pattern of on the candles, but definitely going to be interesting because this wedge is really rare, right? Look what happened after the last wedge we had. Can you see it here? All right, here. Okay, it dropped down powerfully, right? Whoop. That's it. So it might happen here as well, and we might see the gold reaching 1300 level. Right? But let's see. Let's give the at least few days at the beginning of the new year before we make a seriously conclusion. Well, to be honest, that will be all, right? But as you saw, we have definitely a lot of interesting things to wait for, right? The euro dollar and the British pound dollar that creating the triangles and the channels, the dollar yen is pointing down, the dollar franc and the dollar Canadian is still pointing down until the bullish divergence will be created and completed. The gold, as you saw. Um, well, what what else can I say, friends? It looks like the dollar will keep losing its power at the beginning of the year, but I think, and in my opinions, the dollar is preparing a big surprise for all the markets during 2011, at least at the few first months of 2011. Well, friends, Happy New Year's once again, and I just wish you a fantastic week, and just wish you a great year. Um, I hope it will be profitable, at least as 2010 was. Um, Thank you very much for your time watching the videos. I wish you only the best. Vladimir.